We were in the Sahara Desert this morning, saw the sunrise, and now we're on a horse in a carriage. You have to love traveling. Sometimes the randomness all kind of come together in a really strange but beautiful way. And the horse just went cray. Here's our driver who's trying to take control.
15 kilometers away from Tunis is Carthage, a city established by a Phoenician colony that grew into an empire in the Mediterranean. During 146 BC, the city was destroyed by the Roman Republic and transformed into the Roman Carthage. Today, travelers can visit a museum and an ancient cemetery. Heading west on a road trip 2.5 hours later is Duga, where UNESCO recognized it as a World Heritage Site as the best preserved Roman small town in North Africa. Approximately 160 acres of palaces, theaters, and temples, Duga is nothing less than impressive. Although here is most famous for the time period during the Roman conquest, experts have found archaeological evidence that ties Numidian, Berber, Punic, Roman, and Byzantine history.
What they found were symbols of penises on certain statues. So they thought that this might be brothels for the Romans when they were taking over this place.
Heading south another 2 hours later is Kairouan. After Mecca and Medina, Kairouan is considered one of the most important Islamic cities in the world, especially for Sunni Islamic scholarship. When you find yourself in the city, make sure to visit the Great Mosque, the Mosque of the Three Gates, and the Mosque of the Barber. Another must-see Roman archaeological site is SBEITLA'. This is where Muslims entered North Africa and Southern Europe.
So we've been up this morning since 5:30 a.m. We're now in a Jeep en route to see the sunrise in the Sahara Desert, Tunisia style.
Of course, a huge part of visiting Tunisia includes the Sahara experience. I highly recommend getting up bright and early to catch the sunrise. Your hotel or guide can organize a local Jeep company for the ride into the desert.
We are at the Sahara Desert watching the sunrise. We woke up at 5:30 this morning to check out this amazing sunrise. We saw camels, herds of camels on the way. It was beautiful. I think this is so worth it, getting up at actually not 5:30, 5 o'clock, almost 4:30 because I'm getting old. And it's just so peaceful and beautiful.
After the sunrise, we arrived in Tozeur, where the Star Wars saga was filmed. In the middle of the desert, Lucasfilm constructed a movie set which can be seen in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Travelers heading there today can still check out the set and shop for souvenirs.
This is Desert Rose. It's like going to South Africa. You have to get ostrich eggs, and then when you're in Tunisia in the desert in the Sahara, you have to get one of these rocks. And you can really bargain for them, like 80% off bargain. Jeep rides are really bumpy, so I highly suggest going to the bathroom before getting on these things, or else your bladder's gonna go out of control.
A village now with a population of a few hundred people, CHEBIKA is a mountain oasis. Before it was a Roman outpost, then the Berber refugees arrived.
We have come to CHEBIKA, which is a place where the ancients found a source of water, and it's a miracle in the desert, obviously. So on the hike here, this is where you hike a little bit. You can see trees, which you see right here. And the hikes here are a little bit treacherous because the rocks are everywhere. The water is actually really warm and really hot. Obviously, we couldn't expect anything colder, right, in the desert, even if we're in the middle of February. But because the ground here is heated, and so when the water comes out from the earth, it is actually still extremely high temperature. This is bright and early in the morning. We're doing a walkthrough of an animal market, local. What's the name of this town again? Duza. So we will see. Here's a man with a tray of milk tea. This is unbelievable. There's a lot of people here. And we're gonna try and get through to see different animals in the market. Salut, ça va? Dis coucou!
Known as the gateway to the Sahara, Douz is located in southern Tunisia. Merchants from all over southern Tunisia congregate to trade livestock here. You won't find too many camels here, but chickens, rabbits, pigeons, donkeys, horses, goats, and sheep are frequently being sold.
We just exited the animal market, and that was by far one of my favorite experiences so far because it was so authentic and local, and you just would never be able to find that kind of places to see in a guidebook. And look, there's a beautiful view of a local mosque. Or it's a bathhouse, I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to find out. And coming out of the market, I have children following me behind me, look. Dis coucou, dis salut, no? They don't want to say hi, they're camera shy.
Welcome to Matmata, home of the Berbers today. Look for houses with blue doors that overlook the hill.
We're in Matmata, where the Berbers lived, or they still live here actually. The government has divided a section in southern Tunisia for the Berbers. And if you see, there's a rope in the corner over there. That's how they actually get from downstairs to upstairs, like an elevator. And there's a fish on their door, which, similar to how the Chinese view fish, is a symbol of abundance.
The Berbers are an indigenous ethnic group in North Africa. They have their own way of living and language. Today, many Berbers live mainly in Algeria and Morocco, but in Tunisia, the government designated an area on the border of southern Tunisia for them to live.
This is their living room. Alright, so this is where they keep the livestock. There's a bunch of goats that look very shocked.
Spending a few nights in the Sahara Desert is a must. Why not bump up the staycation experience by opting for a desert tent hotel?
We are at our desert tent hotel for the night. Come on in. So I'm staying here by myself, but there's an extra bed here, which is totally fine. But look how cute it is. And there's a little station here. I'm gonna set my jacket down right now because it's super hot in the desert and I totally overdressed. And the bathroom here is really cute too, but I mean, for camping and tent style.
Next up, this is the thrill of a lifetime.
This is my guy.
What guy?
For the motorbike.
What Krabi?
That's my friend. Desert, sunset. It doesn't get better than this.
Okay, after all that desert adventure, we arrived in Medellin, where Star Wars Episode 1 was also filmed. Medellin has always been a significant trading city. Today, the Gorfa complex is where you can shop for a ton of souvenirs. This dye from a plant is such a treat. I got the quick and easy version at the market because I wanted something done fast. But ask your guide for an artist to paint a more intricate and long-lasting design.
When in Rome, I mean when in Tunisia, we're at the Colosseum that looks like the one in Italy. This is gonna be really cool.
Travelers never leave Tunisia without checking out the historical amphitheater in DJEM, which was built by the Romans during 238. As you probably guessed, it was mostly used for gladiators. Inside, you can see where men and lions battled for life.
You can go underground. We're now in the Medina, which is a bazaar where locals come and shop for food and various goods. We shall see what kind of stuff we can find here. This really friendly guy just gave me a free makrut.
Enjoy Tunisia.
And we're gonna try. dipped in honey.
Non? Nice, non?
C'est super bon. It's really good. Figs inside. Oh, it's really good. C'est délicieux. Merci beaucoup.
Enjoy. Welcome.
Some of my favorite things to do when I travel to this part of the world is exploring the markets. This is where you can see how the locals live and shop for food, clothing, groceries. Something I love to do is mingling with locals and sometimes chatting up a storm.
We are now inside a local market where they buy fruits and vegetables. I'm finding that the locals here are actually very friendly and there's a lot going on and it's really fun. My conclusion is that I love markets. We just met the nicest people in the Tunisian market here in Sousse. Vegetable and meat stands and the fish stands were the best. A must-do is that when you're in Tunisia, you have to hit up the markets because you're going to see the real local culture and it's awesome.
Back in Tunis, our last stop is where we visited the BARDO National Museum. As one of the largest museums in Africa, this is where you can view a massive collection of Roman mosaics. We'll cover more about the museum in the next video.
During the attack of ISIS in 2015, March 18th, they entered the stairs here. And combien de personnes sont mortes? So 22 people died and they climbed up these stairs.